Hi Richard, it's so good to see you here, and we are excited to welcome you to SAUVC. Can you introduce yourself in a few words?
Certainly, I'm Richard Mills and I'm the Director of Sales for Marine Robotics at Kongsberg Maritime. We build probably the world's most commercially successful autonomous underwater vehicles. So I'm here to see what all the universities are doing, all of the teams are bringing, and we've been here only a couple of hours already, and it's phenomenal to see the differences, the different sizes, shapes and capabilities of some of the vehicles.
That's excellent. So you must have visited a lot other competitions and challenges similar to this. What has your experience been there, and how do you compare your experience here so far?
Well, this is my first time at this competition, so it's difficult to really give a detailed answer there. What I can say is the teams here seem to be very enthusiastic, and it's great to see them come from such diverse areas as well. We work in a very blinkered commercial environment that's all about oil and gas or defense or big universities. It's nice to see people from all around, places like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka that I didn't expect to see here. So that's really cool.
Some of the teams have put their finances together for a year, and then they are building up to get to this point.
Yep.
So you think this challenge is helping them to get somewhere in the industry? Is it at par, or do you have any recommendations for us?
I hope it does. I mean, from my perspective, it's really nice to see people develop capabilities. The final challenge of dropping a ball into a bucket in the water, that's not easy. So it's really good from a manufacturer's perspective to see these teams developing that kind of capability, because that's really the next step of the untethered, unmanned intervention inspection that the oil and gas industry is looking for. So that's one perspective of it. The other side of it is actually it's really good to see this number of young people actually working through this kind of competition to build their experience and exposure, because they're the developers that we as manufacturers need for the next 15, 20, 30 years.
Absolutely. So what do you think would be the biggest challenge for such oil and gas applications? Would it be manipulation or perception, or where do you see would be the biggest?
That's a really good question. At the moment, the oil and gas world it's got a very mature autonomous survey capability. They're in transition really of taking the next step from inspection that's currently done with ROVs and making that untethered or over the horizon unmanned inspection capability. So there are challenges there that I think there's some direct read across for the developments here, the parts of the competition here, like knocking the ball off the stand. Being able to find it, identify it, and then do it without a human in the loop is not a simple task. And whilst it sounds like it might be a simple task, actually those are the building blocks on which scene perception, interacting with a structure, that type of thing are built upon. Now, the oil and gas industry is very conservative, so we're some step away yet from seeing autonomous manipulation, autonomous intervention. But as an industry, we're working towards it, and it's these types of things that are going to help.
That's wonderful. So do you have any advice for the young starters and first-time teams coming to this competition?
Number one is keep going. If it doesn't work on the first go, keep going, don't give up. I can tell you every AUV manufacturer, every ROV manufacturer has had failures along the way, and just keep persevering, keep pushing forward, but also look outside of your own little bubble of activity. Look at what other industries are doing, other universities are doing, and try and see where you can leverage solutions that might not necessarily be in your direct path. But the biggest thing I will say to anybody is don't build something just because it's neat technology. Actually try and solve a problem. Identify a need, whether it's search and rescue, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's defense applications or exploring the Antarctic under the ice shelves. Try and solve a problem. Find something that nobody else can do.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Richard. It was wonderful talking to you.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.